Yo, good luck.
Okay, y'all, this might.
You know what the heck? I was AFK, bro. 1.2 mil. Ha! $1.2 mil, lads. $1.2 mil, lads. Get some of this, some of that. You're welcome, Doyle Rules. My sailing level is 1. I can get a smite on this guy. I'll just kill him like this. Hi. My 2 accounts, we're trying to make that bank, brother. Dang nabbit. And I gotta run to G on both accounts, bro. Thank you for the like, man. Hey, Ripsy. I've been MIA, guys. But I'm back. Ready for action. Big puppet! Let me see 888, bro. Tell me she 888, bro. Oh, she's going for the kill. Good fight, brother. I think that's a smite as well. We'll take that. 5 mil cash. That was clearly a smite. Clearly a smite, bro. Merry Christmas indeed. Another emblem. Oh my goodness, bro. Gotta be playing with me, bro. Another emblem. No! Guys, it's super raining in California, guys. Super raining. Can you bless me for Christmas? Sure. What would you like to get blessed with, brother? What, brother? We have a Mr. Onyx PK. I could see about doing that. Probably not, though. Oh, I almost got him. Bro, what a freaking champion, man. It's actually sad. I thought I was gonna kill him. Unfortunately, I can't do that as I have died. I should have ate, bro. I thought it would have been a one and done, man. Ah, hey. Ah. A bit of one and done, man. How much you risk? 700K, brother. $700K. 700K. Right now I'm shadow banned off YouTube. Making me mad. My streams get one viewer, bro. They used to get 200 plus views. It's so sad. Been a while since I check in. Welcome, man. Welcome. What's for dinner? I don't know. I do not know, man. Extreme sniper? That's not good. Good luck. That could have been a nice combo. But it wasn't. Dude, I misclicked. Almost died. That was very, very risky, brothers. World's best PK hero? Thank you, man. Alright, thanks. Alright, thanks. Be right back, guys. Come on, Ripson. Guys, I'm back. You know, Matthew, thank you for the follow, man. It really means a lot. I have schizophrenia. And I was hit by a car.
Frontier's 100%
real, man?
fiber internet, powered by the speed of light, made for doing. And now get this amazing deal before it's gone. Frontier Fiber.
Today we're getting into the latest tech EV
Start
and Tesla
fasting,
news,
bro.
including huge
That's my
demand
advice.
in China, the battery innovations coming Tesla's way soon, Lucid's huge software issues, a major Ford recall, and more. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to LastFit for sponsoring this video.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
First up today, Tesla is always expanding their supercharger network, and lately this particularly includes expansion to other EVs. But of course, their latest superchargers are V4 superchargers, and one thing that makes these particularly great is how they are much more compatible with third-party EVs. These have a screen on them and longer cables to support other EVs and people who don't necessarily need to get the Tesla app. And this also meets with certain regulation. So we're now seeing new supercharger terminals here, and Tesla is replacing individual credit card readers at each stall on some of these updated V4 superchargers. Instead, they're going with a single centralized payment kiosk at the station.
Yeah, I'm ready for Christmas.
Previously, these V4 stalls had a small screen and a card reader on each post to comply with regulations requiring on-site payment options for drivers who don't use the app. But with the new setup, drivers who want to pay with a card must walk to the central touchscreen kiosk, plug in their vehicle, and then use the kiosk to authorize and start the car charging session. This kiosk can also be used to monitor an ongoing charging session.
Oh man, he was eating.
Based on Tesla's pricing structure for superchargers, it seems likely that kiosk-initiated charging will cost more because it's a non-member rate than charging does started through the Tesla app or with a supercharger membership. Tesla also charges more for non-Tesla vehicles at this point at most chargers. Overall, this will simplify the system and simplify maintenance and help reduce cost because centralized hardware is easier and cheaper to maintain and support, especially considering most people won't actually need to use the payment kiosk at these chargers. This change, though, helps Tesla meet regulatory
I can see about doing that.
requirements like NEVI in the US, while still pushing drivers towards using the Tesla app for the best experience. Next up for Tesla, speaking of vehicle deliveries, sales are always varying. Especially over the last couple years, things have been in flux for Tesla all around the world and in the United States in particular, especially with the tax credit coming back a couple years ago and then suddenly ending. In any case, Tesla ended the Model 3 lease incentive early in the United States, which seems to signal that people were taking a lot of advantage of that deal in the United States. But over in China, sales seem to be doing very well as a whole too. Tesla has pushed back the delivery of all Model 3 trims. That includes the rear-wheel drive, the long-range rear-wheel drive, long-range all-wheel drive, and performance model, and all of those have been pushed back to a February of 2026 delivery timeline over in China. The same is the case for the Model Y in all except one trim, the Model Y rear-wheel drive. All trims of the Model Y, with the exception of that base rear-wheel drive model, are showing an earliest delivery in February of 26. So it's of course sold out through the end of the year and through January of 2026 in China. It's also worth noting that there's the rear-wheel drive version of the Model Y in China that's not long range, so that's one we don't have in the United States, and it's actually separate from the new standard model. And then they also have the Model YL over in China, and that's included in these trims that are selling well. So this is good news for Tesla's sales as a whole, and it's always an interesting part of their strategy. If their US sales aren't doing great, they do have these other markets and other factories. For 2026, it seems like in the United States, they'll be very focused on robotaxis and full self-driving. So for vehicle sales with the tax credit gone, will they actually need to introduce the Model YL, or will other markets help to make up for it while they focus in on robotaxis here? What do you think, and what do you want to see from Tesla? Some people just want to see them continue making vehicles and pushing out new versions of their cars because they're actually one of the few companies in the United States that keeps successfully making profitable EVs. But of course, Tesla is looking towards the future
Dude, I
with
can't hit his
AI and
bench.
all of that. And is that what you're looking forward to? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. One thing we're seeing in the United States, however, is end of quarter demo discounts on inventory. Here are a couple, with one marked down as much as $5,170. That's for a Quicksilver Model Y Premium all-wheel drive with 3,774 miles on it. These will likely increase as we get towards the end of the quarter, so if you're in the market, definitely keep an eye out. There are tons of demo discounts near me on many vehicles. It's very much worth checking into, and a lot of times these can also be leased. So if you're planning to lease a Tesla vehicle and you don't mind a few miles on it that were done in demo drives, this could be a good way to save some money. Similar is happening with the Model 3 as well. Demo vehicles are marked down as much as $5,700 here, with 2,585 miles on it. Although it is worth noting for the Model 3 specifically, you want to check if it's the latest one with the front bumper camera and the stock or not. This one appears not to be, if that makes a $5,000 difference for you. Next up today, regarding EV batteries, there is always a ton of innovation in this space. Many actually feel that Tesla is behind because they don't have the highest range EV out there, or they don't have the fastest charging EV in many cases. But their aim overall is reliability and scale. Long term, though, this technology will come around, no matter what we're seeing in labs and other things. It will be something that Tesla dabbles with in the future, and there's a lot of stuff out there to get excited about. First is surprisingly over at Mazda in a partnership. They've debuted the EZ60 SUV at the Shanghai Auto Show. This has an 807-mile range CLTC with an LFP battery chemistry. So for an EPA estimated range, it's about 540 miles. And then it gets fast charging at 800 volts. 540 miles is an incredible range to get with an EV, and especially one that uses an LFP battery chemistry. So this is something that's very exciting to see. Over at Geely, they have a similarly large range electric vehicle, but theirs is a hybrid. This is the M9 plug-in hybrid. So they talk about a 935-mile CLTC range, which would translate to about 626 EPA estimated miles. But it's only about 143 miles of an EV-only range, or about 95 miles EPA. Either way, that's a very long-range vehicle that would allow you to go extremely long distances without having to charge, or maybe completing the majority of a road trip without ever having to fill up. Now, those are some real-world examples, but there are plenty of other batteries that people have tested in the lab, like over at Toyota. They're invested in a company that has a novel cathode material for solid-state fluoride ion batteries, and they say that these deliver double the energy density of today's batteries. That would mean it could boost the range of today's EVs from something like 300 miles to 600 miles, or the range of a top-range Model Y from 350 miles to 700 miles on a charge. Of course, that would be incredible to see. At the same time, there's a German solid-state lithium-sulfur battery, and this passed 600 watt-hours per kilogram as a metric. Again, it's nearly double the energy density of conventional battery cells, which is incredibly impressive to see. And the point here is that it's double the energy density. This isn't just a larger battery pack.
2 mil cash.
It's double the density in the same size pack. Another one comes from KAIST and LG Energy Solutions, and this is a lithium metal battery. KAIST is the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, and this lithium metal battery is capable of 500 miles on a single charge, and they claim that it can fast charge in as little as 12 minutes and has a lot of durability. Before we go any further, I want to take a moment to highlight today's sponsor, LastFit. LastFit makes innovative vehicle accessories, including the highest quality floor mats I've had in my Model Y. When you order a new Tesla, the floor mats can be disappointing. Some of them come with these basic floor mats, and others don't come with any floor mats at all. These basic carpet mats, which are the ones that came with my new Model Y, end up looking dirty very quickly. Additionally, they don't always protect the floor underneath them since they're basically just sitting loosely on top. LastFit's mats, on the other hand, solve all of these problems. They're a sleek, perfect fit with a molded lip that keeps messes away from your Tesla. They're water resistant, so even if I pour water onto the floor of my car, I can just easily take out the mats and shake them dry. Then when they get really dirty, you can wipe them down or hose them down. They're such a perfect fit that they never get in the way either. Here they are in use, and you can see how they look like they could be an included accessory with the Model Y. I can slide my seat all the way forward and it doesn't interfere, or slide it all the way back and there's no unprotected gap. The same goes for the back seat. No matter how I move the seats, the mats never get in the way, or feel like anything additional that's cluttering the space. They fit perfectly into the car's minimalist design. Even the rear seat liners stay perfectly in place when you adjust or fold the rear seats. Christmas is coming, and floor mats make a great Christmas gift for friends and family. And in addition to Tesla floor mats, LastFit also offers many mats for other makes. Click the link in the video description below and use code RS20 for 20% off your purchase. Now, in the United States, scientists have been working on the dry cathode, and this would be a manufacturing breakthrough. And scientists from Argonne National Laboratory say that it's a near-term commercial technology. It eliminates toxic solvents and high-energy drying steps during the battery manufacturing process, and it allows for around a 46% reduction in battery manufacturing energy use. This is something Tesla has actively been working on themselves, along with, clearly, others in the United States. They've been working on this for a while, and they've made a prototype Cybertruck with 4680 battery cells that use that dry cathode. But it does seem like something that could still be a ways off from scaling. They've hit many challenges throughout the production process, and the first time we really heard about this was all the way back in 2020. Since then, we were expecting 4680 battery cells to make their way into all of Tesla's products, and today we only see it in the Cybertruck. And then the dry cathode was expected to be a big part of what brought down their battery cost, and we still haven't seen it actually come to fruition other than this single Cybertruck prototype. As you can see, there are a ton of advanced battery technologies out there, and these are just some of the most exciting that we've seen. Some of them are actually coming to market, like we've seen over at Mazda. Some of them are coming to market in other countries or already exist, and then some of them are just lab experiments that they're proving out in concept.
Picture this. Saving up to 10% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with USAA. Some things just click. Get a quote today.
I want to be rich. Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No. Go to Geico, get a quote, and you could save $900 with your phone.
Look at that, it's ringing.
It feels good to save some coin. It feels good to Geico.
But at the end of the day, all of these batteries must be used by good motors. And a UK-based motor maker, Yasa, has unveiled an in-wheel motor that sets an unofficial power density record and looks to be pretty crazy. It has over 1,000 horsepower per wheel, with the motor weighing just 28 pounds. So this is much lighter, and they say it could cut overall EV weight by 1,100 pounds, which means less need for all of the battery that we have today. It's better usage of the battery because it's a lighter car and a more efficient motor. As we can see, there's a ton of technology coming here, so Tesla is going to look a lot different in 5 years. Actually, funny enough, internally, they probably don't think they need really any of this technology long term because of AI and robotaxis. Today's battery cells can deliver pretty much what they need with robotaxis, but either way, they'll always be working on efficiency. I could definitely see a world where they never deliver a 500 or 600 mile range EV, but one where they do implement these technologies for incredibly efficient robotaxis that maybe use battery cells that get double the energy density, but just in a smaller pack because it's still delivering 300 miles, which is good enough for their robotaxi fleet. In any case, Tesla does have a lot of plans for new battery cells that we could see throughout 2026. And just because they're so focused on robotaxis doesn't mean they're stopping on that development. At the end of the day, they're still selling a lot of cars like we see in China, and that still is the main part of their business. But the rumors are that Tesla plans to launch 4 new 4680 battery cell variants in 2026. Each will be optimized for different vehicle types, according to a report. These new cells are part of Tesla's effort to improve cost, scalability, charging performance, and energy density, rather than having to shift over to solid-state batteries. The first battery here is the NC05, and this is reportedly designed to be cheap and easy to manufacture, targeting high-volume vehicles like the future $25,000 EV and the robotaxi. As we know by now, that $25,000 EV is something people are talking about with this battery cell, but from Tesla's perspective, that's really just the same car. Now, the NC20 is a larger capacity cell intended for heavier vehicles like SUVs and the Cybertruck. The NC30 focuses on higher performance and faster charging, so this could be using advanced anode chemistry like silicon carbon. And then they have the NC50, which is a performance-oriented cell aimed at cars like the Plaid or the Roadster. The Roadster is something we should see a demo of from Tesla quite soon here. All 4 of these cells are expected to benefit from the dry cathode process if Tesla can prove that out in reality. So this could help significantly reduce production cost across the board for all of these different battery cells. So there's a lot to come and a lot that we are going to see with Tesla's battery efforts. Internally, it probably will be these different battery cells that, from a consumer perspective, give negligible improvements. But over the years, these improvements really stack up, and I'm sure we will see all of those technologies that we are seeing in the lab today come to Tesla products in the long future. Next up today, for Tesla's full self-driving package, they have launched a new version, 14.2.2. And this brings one change that they're officially announcing in their release notes. And other than that, it's the same release notes from previous versions. But we know this is probably just improving on a lot of bugs from 14.2.1 or other versions like that. The update here that they mention is the navigation pin will be adjusted based on the selected arrival option. That's because you can choose different arrival options, like where you're actually parking, and it will adjust the pin accordingly so you can see where it's planning to go. Next up, over at Lucid Motors, they are officially acknowledging that software bugs in the new Gravity SUV have frustrated reviewers and owners. This has become quite a big deal here because the Gravity SUV is doing well in reviews, but overall the software is proving to be very buggy. Their interim CEO says a fix will be sent out immediately. A recent software update, version 3.3.20, already improved issues like the key fob detection and infotainment bugs, but they plan for another over-the-air update to further improve access control, on-screen video, and steering wheel control responsiveness. So the software is affecting a lot of things, including steering wheel control responsiveness, which definitely affects daily driving. The company says they will continue eliminating software problems and adding features regularly. And they definitely need to do this because this is the main negative feedback this car is getting, and it's not a cheap one. Software quirks have definitely drawn noticeable criticism. Lucid is one of those companies that delivers a lot of great technology in their product. A lot of people love what they're delivering, and they have the longest range EVs out there and the most efficient ones. But at the end of the day, they need to make a cheaper product and one that is scaled and one that is reliable all the way across the board, including software. Next up, over at Slate Auto, they say that they have received more than 150,000 pre-orders, and these are fully refundable, non-transferable